Paul, good Friday to you. How about this greenback just won't break?
No, it won't. You know, we got down to the 95 level over the summer. We got up to 99, and guess where we bounced? 97, twice. So we've got a good 50% retracement that we've got in, and we're back up again. So we talked in the past about the 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I think over the last couple of weeks, it's been 2 steps forward, maybe 2.5 back. But we're back, heading back toward the 99 level, I think, ultimately here. And I think part of the reason is the Fed has stepped away. We've got interest rates that have moved up, and so the dollar's gotten a little bit more strength here in the short run.
So the catalysts for the dollar's momentum, Paul, what are we learning about it? Because I look back at the Brexit week in which we learned there wasn't going to be a hard Brexit, right away. It seems like maybe that was the big catalyst for our dollar softness. Not so much U.S.-China hopes or not so much really hard data, because those trends have kind of continued. The rest of the world stabilizing, U.S.-China maybe getting along better, and the dollar's back up.
Right, and we've talked about the U.S.-China going on. This is probably the 9th, 10th, 11th iteration of a China deal that we've got going. But I think we've talked about it for a long time. It's the U.S. economy versus the rest of the world, still pretty good. Interest rates, U.S. interest rates versus the rest of the world, still pretty good. So the sell-off I think we got was, I think you're right, due a little bit more to strength in the Eurozone and certainly related more around Brexit than it was anything change in the fundamental picture for the global economy. The global economy hasn't really changed too terribly much, and the U.S. sits atop of that right now. And again, hasn't changed too much there, so we're back to dollar strength.
Yeah. Paul, what will then this mean for some of the other trades out there? I mean, if the dollar doesn't meaningfully break lower, are we limited in terms of our commodity moves? Are we limited in terms of some of the big international exporter moves? I imagine, it's not going to be good for, the gold trade that's been already breaking. What are the ramifications if it starts to climb again?
Yeah, we saw over the last 6 weeks or so, we saw kind of a risk-off trade, value doing better than growth, emerging markets international doing better than domestic. We still like those trades. But I think you're going to have some headwinds with those trades now if the dollar continues to strengthen here. Ultimately, the stronger dollar is going to have an impact on corporate earnings, as many of the companies that are in the S&P 500 trade a lot of their goods and services overseas. So we're going to have a rough translation coming back to the U.S. So in the short run, we may see that reversal of the last few weeks. Longer term, I think we're going to struggle seeing a better earnings out of corporate America from the S&P with a stronger dollar that persists. We got to get above 99 to stay there to really see some impact. I'm not sure we're going to do that, but again, that's kind of the level that we're going to be looking at.
Yeah. Paul, before we let you go, one of the other trend changes that's been trying to get some momentum is copper. Since the last 30 days, we made a series of decent little gains to the upside. Kind of almost looks like oil trying to find its footing finally after being range bound for much of the summer and fall. What do you think? Do you want to get exposure to this kind of pure reflationary type of asset like a copper or like a Freeport McMoran in a stock?
Yeah, those areas right now, I think they're pretty much beholden to the comments around the trade. I mean, that's part of the reason why copper's down a little bit today, because, well, maybe we're postponing it a month from November to December. And if you look at it, the recent high is actually the lows going back maybe a year and a half. So we're getting into that range where there should be some resistance. We have a nice trend channel that's been going up, as you mentioned, for the last couple months or so. Hasn't broken that yet, so we're still mildly positive there. But I think the reflation trade that you're talking about, I think is going to be a long way off. We're really going to have to see global growth really pick up from here, and we're just not seeing it. I think we're going to be stuck in a relatively low economic growth globally, and I think that's going to keep a cap on commodities in general globally.